Okay, back here with Business Boomer, we are here with Lisa Spinali
Hello.
with the San Francisco School Volunteers, among many other hats that you wear, it sounds like. And Lisa, you are part of the committee that organized this amazing event for some 4,500 nonprofit leaders all over the country. First of all, what was that organizational task like?
Well, I'll tell you, a year ago now is when San Francisco was named as the city, and we were just elated to have it come to San Francisco. And as a native and working in the community here, it was such an honor to be selected. And we very quickly formed this incredible host committee of the magnificent leaders of San Francisco, of which there is, this is a hub of volunteerism and service for our nation. And so people have stepped up from all the different organizations to create this cohesive committee. And then what we did is we decided that instead of only accepting people who applied to a request for proposal, we were going to reach out and actually design the conference based upon the needs of today, because the conference happened right in the middle of this crazy time of our most toughest financial times and most exciting time for service. And so a committee of, so I chaired the program committee for the conference as a member of the host committee, and we had about 25 leaders of the community come together against a series of different tracks to create the content for those tracks. And so what you're seeing in this conference is the fruits of the labor of people opening up their electronic versions of Rolodexes to say, we really would like to have you come be a speaker for the conference, and really making the content relevant to both what it means to run a nonprofit today and what does it mean to run, or what does it mean to work in cross-sector partnerships, how do we really engage the business community, all the key things that we know are really important, and really elevating it and taking it to that next level.
And did you ever imagine a year ago that, you know, in one place yesterday you'd have the First Lady of the United States, First Lady of California?
I will tell you, it will be a day that I will never forget. We started off the day, so separate from the program committee, as my day job, which I feel like I haven't been doing so much of these days, as the executive director for San Francisco School Volunteers. We've also been working on we put together the playground build out at, in terms of engaging the community and working with Bret Hart, the elementary school, where we did this magnificent service project. And to have the two first ladies there in this, with 500 of us in this very intimate audience, and that in itself was like, oh my gosh, this is a moment for a lifetime. And to see the looks on all the young children of that school, being able to see the incredible leadership of two incredible women and the promise of what their futures could be based upon what they've done, and just the amount of work and having the community come out and really supporting a school that needed it. That probably will definitely be a highlight. And then to leave that, quickly change my clothes in the parking lot out of work clothes and come on over to the opening to just the A-list of we are in a very important and exciting time, and I feel I just feel really lucky that we are where we are, and that all the hard work that we've been doing for a really long time is really coming to fruition in a way that we haven't seen, and that's pretty powerful. And we need to seize the moment, because the moment is now, right? And it won't be here forever, and so we all need to step up, and we all have got to do our part.
Absolutely. I was in the crowd yesterday, and there was such an energy brought, you know, by these special speakers and just in the crowd in general, that there's a new movement upon us, and the people that are here are the ones that are really, you know, in the trenches and already doing this work, so are really leading this movement. What about the First Lady's speech really struck you?
Well, on a very kind of personal / self-centered note, when she spoke about the role of government, but that government can only do certain pieces. Like, I think the quote was something around, government can build the schools, but it is the people who tutor and mentor the children, that she is right on, that it is a combination of our collective efforts. You know, I think there's something that has culturally happened to us where we think because we pay taxes that anything in the social realm that needs to be fixed or helped, somehow the government is going to do that. And the reality is, it isn't just the government. We have to collectively do it. So I see the service movement as a way to ignite the power of what it means to be what it means to be American. To be a part of the fabric of your community, to help your neighbor, to make a difference. You can call it volunteering, you can call it service, you can call it a lot of things, but it's about being a part of a collective fabric that makes every community house to house better.
And what do you think? I mean, there's this real call, you know, for this movement to take place now, and for a lot of times politicians have often said, you know, we need to serve, get out and serve, and again, it's like the Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You see
so,
the
yeah,
token efforts.
and we
what do you
see
think it's going to take to make it really a part of our national fabric in a way that it hasn't been?
You know, I think it's a great question. I think there's the first part, which is people need to be asked, and people need to be asked sincerely. And I think that is the place where an organization like San Francisco School Volunteers comes in, because we come in and we ask very specifically, because we're working with the schools of greatest needs, working directly with those teachers, and we know what the needs are. And so when we ask, people come because they know we have vetted it and that it's a good opportunity. They're going to be supported in that role. So all the folks that work in the capacity building realm or around volunteer management, our roles are going to be more critical than ever before, because I think when you have a great day like a service project, people happily come out and they'll give a day, but it's like, what does it mean to be in a school an hour a week for a semester, or which is our minimum requirement of what we ask our volunteers to do, in the middle of the day, right? That experience has to be a very, very strong experience. And if it's not, and if you think of the volunteer as your customer, if they're not getting from it, and and it's reciprocal because they get as much as they give, but if we haven't done a good job of managing that experience, we could promote coming out and serve all we can, but we've got to have that background infrastructure in place to really make sure that we can do that. And I think for those of us who have been working in the field for a while, we know that that's the role we're supposed to play, that we will play, and that we will guarantee to ensure that when people want to come out and serve, that there's going to be great ways for them to be able to do that.
That's a wonderful point. And speaking of the organization that you're involved in, if you could just tell us more about the overall
how we do
goal
our
and
yes.
mission and what you're
so
doing.
San Francisco School Volunteers has been around for 46 years. So 1963, so they've been doing service for a long time, founded by two women in San Francisco who wanted to make a difference at a time when adults, other than a teacher, were not really allowed in a classroom. So you have to imagine it was a very different time when they started. And they started off by reading to students, to little ones, the K through 2. And so what it has evolved into is we are the go-to place if you want to get involved in a San Francisco public school, you come to us. We work directly with schools. We prioritize the schools with greatest needs. We work to build the school's ability to manage volunteers, because we know schools, managing volunteers, that's not a core competency for a school, but we know if we're going to bring in volunteers, they need to be prepared. We work with local corporations to create the partnerships. We recruit, support, and engage a community of volunteers to support our students. That's what our mission is. And we do it we use technology around the recruitment and getting the word out about opportunities. And then we actually have a field team that it's kind of like a sales force that has a portfolio of schools that understand what's really happening at schools, so we're meeting real need. Because I think that is also the other piece, is people, if they're going to give their time, they want to know that their time is being well used. Some people like to, now you can't even lick stamps anymore because now stamps are all adhesive, right? But, people want to do more than stuff envelopes. And so I think making that experience meaningful for people really matters. And I think in the work that I've been doing at School Volunteers, the volunteers that come out, they really know that they're making a difference. They know it when the student understands the math problem, or they're able to read the book that when they first started to work with them, the student wasn't able to completely read the sentence. And it shows up in so many ways.
Thank you so much, Lisa. We really appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
And all your efforts in putting together this amazing event. It's really, I'm just in awe.
Well, it's my pleasure to serve.
Hope you'll be back next year.
Absolutely. Thank you, Neil.
Thank you so much. Again, I am Kara Jones here with Business Boomer at the conference, the National Conference of Volunteering and Service. We're going to toss now to an interview with Michelle Nunn, who is the CEO of the Points of Light Institute. We got a chance to speak with her yesterday.